hope you're having so much fun at home. And we are here to read our second story, story number 2. And we had such a fun idea for this story because last weekend we took a super fun drive out to Sonoyta. Have any of you ever been to Sonoyta? We drove out there looking for a hike, and we ended up finding lots of dirt roads that we could drive on for miles and miles and miles. So we drove around for a very long time, and guess what we saw? What did we see on the road, Eliza?
Cows and bulls.
Cows and bulls right in the middle of the road as we were driving. Have any of you ever seen cows and bulls on the road or on the side of the road as you're driving?
I did. Mommy said she saw Ferdinand, but I couldn't see it.
We saw cows right in front of the car, and it was funny because what did they do as we got closer to them?
They ran away from us.
They ran away. They ran off to the side almost like they knew they were in our way. But the cows and bulls were so exciting, and I'll post a picture of them, that we decided to read one of our favorite stories about a special bull, the story of Ferdinand. So we hope that you have as much fun with this story as we did. Once upon a time in Spain. There was a little bull, and his name was Ferdinand. All the other little bulls he lived with would run and jump and butt their heads together. But not Ferdinand. He liked to sit just quietly and smell the flowers. Show this. He had a favorite spot out in the pasture under a cork tree. It was his favorite tree, and he would sit in its shade all day and smell the flowers. Cork trees grow in Spain, and they have a very special type of bark that only cork trees have. I'll include some facts about cork trees in the email I send out today, as well as a fun activity to help you learn a little bit more about cork trees. Sometimes his mother, who was a cow, would worry about him. She was afraid he would be lonesome all by himself. Why don't you run and play with the other little bulls and skip and butt your head, she would say. But Ferdinand would shake his head. I like it better here, where I can just sit quietly and smell the flowers. His mother saw that he was not lonesome because she was an understanding mother, even though she was just a cow. She let him just sit there and be happy. As the years went by, Ferdinand grew and grew until he was very big and strong. Oh my goodness, look how big and strong Ferdinand became.
Is that what it is?
That's his mom. And this is Ferdinand as he grows up. All the other bulls who had grown up with him in the same pasture would fight each other all day. They would butt each other and stick each other with their horns. What they wanted most of all was to be picked to fight at the bullfights in Madrid. But not Ferdinand. He still liked to sit just quietly under the cork tree and smell the flowers. One day, 5 men came in very funny hats to pick the biggest, fastest, roughest bull to fight in the bullfights in Madrid. Here are the 5 men in the funny hats. Can we count them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are pretty funny hats. All the other bulls ran around snorting and butting, leaping and jumping so the men would think that they were very strong and fierce and pick them. Ferdinand knew that they wouldn't pick him, and he didn't care. So he went out to his favorite cork tree to sit down.
But it was a bee.
He didn't look where he was sitting, and instead of sitting on the nice cool grass in the shade, he sat on a bumblebee. Well, if you were a bumblebee and a bull sat down on you, what would you do?
Go crazy.
You would sting him. And that is just what this bee did to Ferdinand. Oh, poor Ferdinand.
But now people would think he's going crazy and they would take him to the bull's side.
Wow, did it hurt? Ferdinand jumped up with a snort. He ran around puffing and snorting, butting and pawing the ground as if he were crazy. The 5 men saw him and they all shouted with joy. Here was the largest and fiercest bull of all. Just the one for the bullfights in Madrid. Uh-oh. Do you think Ferdinand wants to go to the bullfights in Madrid?
No.
What do we think is going to happen?
He's gonna look at the he's gonna smell the lady's flowers.
Let's see. So they took him away for the bullfight day in a cart. What a day it was! Flags were flying, bands were playing, and all the lovely ladies had flowers in their hair.
Like I'm a lovely lady.
You are a lovely lady. And look, there's a lovely lady with a flower in her hair. They had a parade into the bull ring. First came the banderilleros with long, sharp pins with ribbons on them to stick in the bull and make him mad. Next came the picadores, who rode skinny horses, and they had long spears to stick in the bull and make him madder. Then came the matador, the proudest of all. He thought he was very handsome and bowed to the ladies. He had a red cape and a sword and was supposed to stick the bull last of all. Then came the bull. And you know who that was, don't you?
Ferdinand.
Ferdinand. They called him Ferdinand the Fierce, and all the banderilleros were afraid of him, and the picadores were afraid of him, and the matador was scared stiff. Ferdinand ran to the middle of the ring, and everyone shouted and clapped because they thought he was going to fight fiercely and butt and snort and stick his horns around. But not Ferdinand. When he got to the middle of the ring, he saw the flowers in all the lovely lady's hair, and he just sat down quietly and smelled. He wouldn't fight and be fierce no matter what they did. He just sat and smelled. And the banderilleros were mad, and the picadores were madder, and the matador was so mad he cried because he couldn't show off with his cape and sword. So they had to take Ferdinand home.
Yay, Ferdinand was like, I don't want to fight.
And for all I know, he's sitting there still, under his favorite cork tree, smelling the flowers just quietly. He is very happy. I like Ferdinand because he found something that made him very happy, and he stuck to it. What kinds of things make you happy?
What makes me happy, having, spending the time with each other and being like a family.
Oh, spending time with each other and with my family makes me happy too. maybe you guys could talk with your family about things that make you happy, just like Ferdinand. So we made these special Ferdinand flowers this morning.
Made them.
Eliza made them to go along with this story. And I'm also going to include a tutorial about how we made, oh, that looks so good, these special flowers. We hope you enjoyed our story, and we can't wait to share another one with you.
Yeah.
Bye, guys. Miss you.
Miss you.
See you soon.